Aliens. Yes, I know. It's either a popular subject or it's not popular at all. Everybody has something of an opinion about aliens or not. And I typically don't bother with it, but I've been asked a few times lately, and I've had my own experiences. So I thought it's only fair to, well, let you know what my opinion on the matter is. In my late 20s, I used to do some pretty unusual experiments on my mind. I won't tell you all the things I did because that would take the rest of the week, but I did some things where I wanted and I believed it was possible to have out of body experiences. It was a little bit popular in the 80s, the 70s and 80s. It was the idea of astral travel, soul travel, projection, lucid dreaming. And oh, by the way, I tried them all. Well, okay, all is an exaggeration, but I did many of them. And I had a wide range of experiences. And all I would say overall is, I don't recommend that you do what I did. I think that there are better, faster, safer ways of doing things than trying to send yourself out. Well, I did. One time I did this and I went out. Well, really out. And when I went out with the awareness of myself, but also with a complete sensory capacity to see where I was going. And I just kept going out. So I went through the atmosphere and up through the upper atmosphere of the earth and kept going and realized that I could keep going just because I intended and I wanted to go. So I did. I went out like a child with a toy and I went riding my tricycle out into physical space. I realized it was physical space, it wasn't an abstract space. In that physical space, I came across a spaceship. I was curious about what it was, and I went over to it, and I could literally look through it, and I could go through the wall of this spaceship, and it totally terrified the occupants of the spaceship. They were utterly frightened that I arrived. And there was nothing they could do about my arrival. I was just there. I didn't see myself as a body, but they were very aware of my presence. And they were, well, about 4 feet high, maybe not even 4 feet, but somewhere around chest high or less. Humanoid, very humanoid. Sorry about this. They had blonde hair, and the color of the skin was whitish, yellowish, pinkish, and they seemed very nice. They were just like gentle little lambs. They're nice people. I could get the feeling that they were very, but why are they so frightened of me? Well, they were monitoring the Earth plane because of the magnitude of the violence. They could not comprehend how a species was so directly involved in its adversarial self destruction. And for some reason, I couldn't comprehend. They, in some form, were headed this way and or needed to come by for some reason, and they were utterly frightened of the human being because of the degree of our violence. Now, that was the most empirically direct experience, and I came back wondering if I was totally wacko because I had the experience. So I just pretty much didn't tell anyone. You did what? You went out of your mind, cuckoo bird, and you went flying somewhere and you saw an alien? Oh, sure you did. What were you smoking? No, by the way, I was not on any drugs or whatever. I was not locked up in a hospital. I just love to experiment with. Don't recommend that you do the same thing I do. I would rather suggest other things that are healthier and will get you results without having to do the experiments that I consider sometimes could be dangerous. That's why I didn't teach it. So that said, are there aliens? My direct experience, yes. My other experiences with aliens, yes, yes. There are some other ones, and I would say simply there are some nice ones and there are some not so nice ones. Not so easy to explain that. I mean, this is a picture of somewhere in the galaxy, right? How many trillions of galaxies do we discover there are? The Hubble discovered trillions of galaxies. So are there aliens? Oh, yeah, yes. Now, am I particularly concerned about them? Well, no and yes. I do think that there are some unkind, unloving aliens who are just like people on Earth. I'm sorry, but if you look around, you see people who aren't so nice. Why should it be any different 100 million light years away or billions? And you think about our civilization on Earth, the Earth is 5 billion years old. Well, they're still calculating the age of the universe. Last calculation between 15 and 17 billion years old. Oh, by the way, that's this physical universe, 15 to 17 billion. So that would be, if Earth was 5 billion, that would give an opportunity for 3 different forms of time. You think it isn't possible that there are people, souls, by the way, in time who are millions of years old? I mean, you look at us in the last 50 years. We got so proud that we sent somebody to the moon, and now we want to send somebody to Mars. And we've done all of that in the last 50, 60 years. Look how fast we've grown. What if we had 1,000 more years or 1,000,000 more years to develop our technology? What if we were 5 million years old and learned how to travel throughout the universe? And if you look at Star Trek Discovery and the mycelium network, or if you're into those kind of things, and warp factor 9, Scotty, who wants to travel at the speed of light anyway? It's so slow. Really, come on. It takes 8 minutes for light to travel from the sun to the earth. Who wants to travel that slow? What if we could actually travel great distances in the galaxy or beyond in the blink of an eye? Quantum entanglement already says that's possible in physics. So is there likely aliens? Yes. Have I seen aliens? Yes. But I will probably say this, and this is only an estimate. Maybe 90% of what people think as aliens are actually spirits. I mean, human spirits from thousands of years ago who have the capacity to be able to be around. And yes, by the way, some of the spirits, human spirits, I've seen in the spirit world are downright ugly. Sorry, but some of them look like insects and reptiles. Yes, your brothers and sisters of this planet, an earthling, people who have incarnated and left that are still around in some capacity, living in very difficult, dark, insect like, ugly environments. Yes, I've seen those. This is not woo woo possibility or conjecture. This is not part of some theological discovery or something. I respect Swedenborg and a few of the other people. I respect that. I haven't had their experience, but I can say that most of the time, what we think are aliens are actually humans, but we don't realize it as such. But are there actual aliens from actual places? Yes. And I'm not so concerned about things in the sky or the little spaceships flying around or the ones hiding in the ocean or the middle of the earth. Or no, I'm not so concerned about the aliens we can see. Personally, I am a bit more concerned about the aliens we can't see and that don't need physical objects to go floating around in the sky. They have a capacity to come and go without our knowing it. And I'm more sensitive to those. So I just thought I would put my opinion in here just to let you know where I am with it. Do I think it's really important and significant that I do something with them? No. Do I appreciate that there are helpful ones around? They might want to help keep us from killing ourselves, that they might stop some of the pollution, or they might change Fukushima and the radiation. They might stop earth changes. Yeah, I'm grateful if there's somebody who can come down and, well, make all politicians nice and all drug companies, benevolent and all corporations kind. Yeah, that would be nice, but that's not really going to happen, in my opinion. What's more likely to happen is you and I are going to do it ourselves. We're going to learn to accept the responsibility that our capacity to do powerful things in the universe is really dependent on us. And I hope that there might be somebody out there that enables us to be able to have the time to do that without us doing something really dumb, like having an all-out nuclear war or collectively getting so violent that we hurt each other, spiritually, otherwise. So aliens, yeah, thank you, fine. No, I'm not interested in being a genetic experiment. I'm not interested in being beamed up. Thank you. I would prefer to work with an unseen human called my guide, of which I have several, human guides. All that means is they were like me once. They had a body. They went to the spirit world and they learned how to love. So at least one, I think two of my guides are celestials, meaning they attain some higher degree of love and they are now with me for the purpose of helping me and everyone else learn how to be responsible for their own soul. I'm 100% responsible for my development. My experience is, no, I can go, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, and you can wave all the white flags you want, and I don't have a direct experience that works at all. It does permit other spirits, aliens, to influence you, which I don't recommend. I suggest that you just trust in your own heart. Is it logical? Does it make sense? Does it feel right? Can I experiment with it? Use maybe some of that criteria. And if you really want to go to the big one, use your own conscience. Use your conscience. and then learn to trust that part of it and facilitate it. So that's my input on aliens for now. Yes, they're coming. They're around, yes. Oh, by the way, most of the anomalies we see in the clouds are the direct result of the interaction of the electromagnetic field of the Earth aligning with the substructure of the strata of the Earth, the molten core, where little beams of light are coming out from the infrastructure of the physical Earth itself and interacting with the light from above. So most graphic anomalies that we see in the sky are the result of the dynamics of the physics of the core of the Earth interfacing with the electromagnetic field of the Earth. Look at the work of Wilhelm Reich and the work that he did around making clouds and the orgone energy and so on. Yes, I'm not saying that some of them can't be spaceships hiding in the clouds, in the ocean. Yeah, there may well be. I don't have any direct experience of them being actual spaceships. If I do have an experience like that, I'll share it with you. By the way, you know full well that I don't claim any accuracy or impunity to this. I'm not always right. I've made thousands of mistakes. Sometimes I've learned more from mistakes than I have my successes. So this is just where my current experience is around the aliens. And if you're curious about more, well, ask a question and I may or may not respond, but you can try anyway. All right. Work factor 9, Scotty. Take me up. No, what? No, Scotty. See you later. Bye.